Something that I hear from our favorite clients all the time. I know that it's my fault that my company is not growing. I just don't know what to do about it. I know it's my fault. Like, I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, my company is not where I want it to be. I know that that is somehow my fault. And I have no freaking idea what to do about it.
Name is Jana Lee.
Jana Lee!
Operation Queen.
I just had my mind blown.
I am on a mission to build the world's best problem-solving machine.
Guys, if this is you, if that's you, first off, massive shout out to you, because the first part of that sentence is key. I know it's my fault, right? Like, as founders, pretty much everything is our fault. Everything that happens in our company, even if it wasn't us that messed it up, ultimately that does reflect and come back to us. Ultimately, it is our job to take responsibility for that. Ultimately, it is always our fault. And the very good news that I have for you today is that while it is your doing that has put your company in this position, it is not your job to fix it. And I want to dive into what I mean by that today, because a lot of CEOs have the willingness to take ownership for every single problem that happens across their business. And that's amazing. That's brilliant. But they assume that just because it's their responsibility means it's their job to fix it. Just because something is wrong in my marketing department, just because there's something wrong with my operations, therefore I have to be the one to step in and fix it, to step in and figure it out. And that's where CEOs get stuck, because you actually are not the best person to fix every problem across your business. You don't have the right skills, like technical skills, to fix everything across your business. And actually, it is not the highest value use of your time. So in the context of operations, we get our clients coming to us saying things like, I'm buried in the weeds, my team is underperforming, I feel like my hair is on fire every single day, I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel just sprinting to try and grow this thing every single day, and I know I'm somehow creating that. I know I'm somehow disempowering my team. I know I'm somehow holding my company back. I know that I am somehow responsible for the slowdown or the stagnation or the friction that we're experiencing. And yes, you are. But the solve to that problem isn't for you to go out and become a world-class COO and figure out how to fix all of your own friction and figure out how to build all of your own systems and figure out how to hire the right people. The solve to your problem is to build the operating system, the OS, that is responsible for scaling your company. The fix to the problem isn't you. It's not a person. It's a thing. It's the foundation. It's the operating system. Right? And so you, the CEO, right now are trying to like sheer willpower force your way to success, to outwork any problem, to learn any skill that is required. But the problem with that is that if you're showing up and through your own sheer sweat equity trying to fix everything, then you're the operating system. That's just the reality of it. Instead of having like an OS on your phone, instead of having the right software that runs everything, that coordinates everything, that orchestrates everything, you are trying to do that. Instead of having the right systems that automate communication, you're running around talking to everybody. Instead of having the right systems that ensure you get the best A player talent onto your team every single time, you are hiring the wrong people and then stepping in and doing their jobs for them when they fail. Right? You are the operating system. You are the fix. And so my advice, my invite to you, my permission slip to you is that while yes, it is your fault because everything's your fault, it is not your problem to fix. You are not the solution this time. Your sweat equity, your willpower, your creativity is not the solution. The solution is not a who, it's a what. It's your operating system. It is the set of systems and team that will ultimately scale your company, that will ultimately remove all the friction from the day-to-day and automate the communication and prevent dropped balls and prevent constant fires. There's a set of systems that can run your business for you. And your only job is to make the required and necessary investment to get the system in place, right? Like that is your decision. That is your responsibility to make that call. No one else is going to make that call except for you. But what you're doing when you make that decision is that you are giving yourself permission to not be the solution. That's what you're doing. You're giving yourself permission to step out of the everything else role, wearing every hat, fixing every problem. And you're allowing your company to become self-sufficient. Because ultimately, while it feels very scary and it feels pretty lazy for us to just delegate that to a thing, to an operating system, the reality is that your company is actually healthier for it. A company that is fully dependent on you all day, every day, to make every decision, to fix every problem, that's not a healthy company. It's not healthy for you, you know that, but it's not healthy for your company. It doesn't actually allow your company to become self-sufficient. And that has so many issues. A company that's dependent on you is inherently not scalable. It's not exitable, right? You can't exit a job. No investor wants to buy a 80-hour-a-week job, right? It's not an asset. It's not exitable. It's not scalable. It's not any of the things that a company, a healthy company, can and should be. And so you're not just giving yourself a gift. You're giving your company a gift. You're giving your team a gift that says, I'm going to pour into the foundation that's going to allow you guys to be self-sufficient, to not be dependent on me, and to achieve your highest version of success so that your team can turn around and honor that promise forward to your clients. And your clients can achieve their highest version of success. And in all of that, you get to achieve your highest version of success, right? So yes, it is your fault, as is everything that happens in your company, good or bad. That is always our responsibility. But by taking responsibility for the solution, which is the OS, you give yourself permission to not be that solution, to not show up and work 80 hours a week, to be the living, breathing hardware and software that allows your company to keep running, and instead actually building a scalable technical foundation that will allow that to run without you. Because then what you get to do is actually elevate out of all of that bullshit and do the stuff that only you can do. Drive massive and very real growth into your company because your energy and your time has now been freed up to do so. Okay? So if you are there beating yourself up, because I think we've all been there and it's such a rough place to be, because you're not where you want to be. You haven't hit your goals yet. Your company is slowing down. There are daily fires, and you know that somehow that is your fault. All of that, you're contributing to all of that. Can you, in that moment, give yourself the permission to invest in a solution that is not you? And that doesn't have to be with us. It can be if you want it to be. If this is resonating, reach out to us. I'd love to have that conversation with you. But there's plenty of solutions out there. There's plenty of systems and teams out there that can scale your company. That's not the point. The point is are you willing and able to allow that solution to not be you? Are you willing and able to allow your company to outgrow you? Are you willing and able to remove the dependency that is currently keeping you trapped in the day-to-day weeds? And guys, I really am asking because that is way fucking harder said than done. It is really scary. It is really hard systematically extracting yourself, systematically freeing up hours on your calendar where you're not needed, where you're not running around, you're not reactive to the day-to-day of your business, and you're actually able to think boldly and creatively and clearly again. That's scary. Because it means that your team is outgrowing you, your company is outgrowing you, and now you have the opportunity and responsibility to figure out how to lead it forward again. But that is scary. It is a change. So it is a choice, ultimately. But there is literally no version of your company that scales with you stuck in the weeds. There's no version of that. Either the company will stop growing or you will burn yourself out. There is no other end to that movie, right? And so if you are in that place and you know that you are contributing, do yourself the favor, give yourself the grace that showing up and just working harder is just going to make the problem worse. Because showing up and just working harder is what created the fucking problem to begin with, right? So you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. It's one of my favorite Albert Einstein quotes. You cannot solve the problem with the same mindset that created it. And the mindset that created the problem you're in right now is I can just do it. I can just show up. I can just outwork the problem. I can just put more hours in. I can learn the skill. I can do it. It's my fault. I will fix it. Shift the mindset. If you want to solve the problem, shift the mindset away from I am the problem, therefore I am the solution, to I am the problem, therefore I am responsible for putting the right solution into my business, which you are, but that is not you. It's your OS. It's your operating system that will ultimately allow your company to scale. It will allow you to achieve your highest growth and impact. Okay, guys, I think I've belabored this point enough. If you have any questions about like what the heck is an OS, how should I be building this into my company, what do the next steps for me look like, dude, drop a question in the comments. I am always happy to support you through that because again, the transition is fucking tough. The transition of not always being the solution is really hard. So let me support you. I'd be honored to do that. But it starts with you allowing and making the decision that just because I'm the problem doesn't mean I'm the solution. All right, everybody. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. And if I felt a little bit rambly today, to all my CEOs running on like next to no sleep today, I see you. You got this. And let's see how today goes. All right, everybody. See you next week. Bye.